YouTube, I'm new here. I'm FlyByWithMav, and I've never done a long-form video in my life. So let's hop right into it. In January of 2021, I started doing an interview-style collaboration called FlyByWithMaverick. This is basically a co-stream where I team up with fellow content creators or someone from the industry so we can boost their discoverability and promote togetherness and a sense of community. I never knew that FlyByWithMaverick was going to become my favorite thing to do with streaming, but it has. I've learned so many things and I've met so many amazing people. Unfortunately, I didn't change up the formatting of FlyByWithMav until Season 3, which launched a couple weeks ago. Where before, we just kind of gamed and I asked questions while we were playing. But now it's more of a one-on-one podcast interview to provide you, the viewer, a more intimate experience. So I'd like to thank all my previous guests on FlyByWithMaverick, and I had a lot of fun learning about their journeys. Season 3 opened up just a couple weeks ago, and our first guest is Wizz1er, the founder and creator of Wizz1er. Wizz1er is a branding and marketing genius, and he could truly help take your brand to the next level. I'm going to put all of his links in the description of the video so you guys can feel free to show him that gamer love. I hope you guys enjoy FlyByWithMaverick Season 3, Episode 1. As always, let me know in the comments what I can do to improve my content for you. And I'll catch you guys next time. Hello, wingmen, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of FlyByWithMaverick. And tonight, we are going to be interviewing Wizz1er, the founder and creator of Wizz1er. You guys, I'm so excited to pick his brain and truly learn about the man behind the scenes who helps so many people, you guys. He truly is responsible for so many awesome things in the streaming community, especially those surrounding GXO and so many other places. So guys, without further ado, we're going to get him in here and we're going to get talking about everything Wizz1er. And I unmuted you.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to FlyByWithMaverick. I'm so happy to have you here, man.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
You're kind of going to be a test dummy.
Oh no.
Per se.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm changing up the physical appearance of FlyByWithMaverick this time around, to where it's going to be more of a one-on-one interview, and then we hop into some games.
Yes.
Mr. Wicked Menace, thanks for stopping in, man. Listen, guys, at any point, if you want to see the credentials, but links of Wizz1er himself for Wizz1er or his personal stream, !Wiz. This man is a legend. You guys, show him some gamer love. But let's get started. Tell us about yourself, if you don't mind saying your real name. Some people don't want to do that, but your name, where are you from, kind of what's your backstory?
So, God, I don't use my real name at all, like literally at all anymore when it comes to anything outside of family. It's kind of funny. So I think a better way to start that answer to that question would be how the name Wizzle came around.
I love that. Yeah, elaborate on that.
It was 1996, and Murder Was the Case was the album that was released by Snoop Dogg. And that was super popular. I was into the hip-hop crowd as a kid. And, you know, after a period of time, a few years go by, and then Snoop Dogg has this language, you know, and it's still popular today, you know, for shizzle dizzle, but like all of that was what we did. That's how we talk to each other as, you know, teenagers. And
shizzle, my nizzle.
Right. So like, this is the politically correct version of how I got the name. You know, we had nicknames for each other. There was Shawnee Poop Pizzle, and, you know, there was me, which my real name is Matt, and they called me Matty Wizzle.
I love that. Now,
the real reason I earned that name has nothing to do with just like the flagrant misuse of Snoop Dogg's language. That came from, you know, shenanigans, and alcohol was involved, that kind of deal. But if you're familiar with the brand of liquor Bacardi, they have a variant of their rum called 151. So we called that 150 Whizzle. That was the name of
That's hilarious.
the party.
And that's
So-
rocket fuel too, that 151. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. So, you know, like, hey, what do you want to do tonight? Let's get into some 150 Wheezy, like, whatever. Like, that was how we talked about it, right? So, one night in Troy, New York, which is like the armpit of Albany, which is the capital of New York State. A lot of people think it's New York City. It's not. It's Albany, which is some little miniaturized city comparatively. So I'm in Troy, New York, which is just outside of Albany. And I'm in like the slummiest slum area of the town or the city, staying overnight at a friend's house, and there's like 5 of us. And we went out, we went to a couple of different clubs, we were doing things we shouldn't have been doing, you know, trying to just be a cool teenager, right?
One of
So
those
when we
guys.
got back to his apartment, oh yeah, we got back to this kid's apartment that he was renting, and there was a bunch of kids who were living there, so all the roommates were there. We got into some 150 Wheezy, and we were doing shots, lemon and salt, the whole 9. So around 6 in the morning, I'm still awake. Like, we got back to the apartment at like 1, but around 6 in the morning, I'm still awake.
Doing
And what
shots
ended up
all night.
happening-
Are you actually like? You're probably.
I was the only one who didn't pass out. And
Oh
the
my
bottle was
gosh.
empty. So
Whizzler can hold his own, folks. Just remember that.
according to my
Once upon
my
a time, you
peers,
could.
yeah, oh yeah, it's once upon a time, not anymore. According to my peer group, I became like the god of 150 Whizzle, so I was dubbed the Whizzler.
That's awesome.
And
That's
that is
awesome.
how the name stuck. And then there's actually like a sub chapter to the story, but that's like for a previous job. You know, the name kind of faded away as I grew up.
Wow.
But then I took a job with Apple, and I was one of 7 Matts in an Apple store. So, you know, you work in an Apple store, there's hundreds of employees in most of them, right? Like it's about 100 average. There were 7 people named Matt, so they told me like, you have to have a nickname. We're not calling you Matt. Okay, cool. The only nickname I've ever had in my entire life was Whizzle.
And it stuck with
So-
you the whole time.
Not yeah. It literally has
That's-
now stuck through me my adulthood again.
That's
So
awesome.
I am now praising it, and I just
So-
promote it and support it.
You worked at Apple. What?
Uh-huh.
But you aren't working on. Well, you weren't working a 9 to 5 per se. Now you're Whizzle World and streaming. That's everything you do now, right?
I have a few other like side projects that aren't really anywhere near. I'm not passionate about them like I am with the world.
Are they all
I stream
focused-
right now for fun.
Are they all focused around like the content creation industry or
No,
tech
they have
world
no-
or?
I mean, honestly, they're not even related, and my goal is to be able to like drop them, either have a family member take them over or
There you go.
something. They're not relevant to what I want to do. They're not relevant. They were just like opportunities I took advantage of, and honestly, it's not like a get rich quick scheme or anything like that. It's just it's a worthless time suck is the way that I look at them.
Gotcha.
They make a little bit of money, whereas you could play the stocks and make more. That's how it is.
Stocks are dangerous, so unless you know what you're doing.
GME, man, to the moon, baby, to the moon.
Let's go. Let's go. I was hoping you would say AMC too, though. If you were an ape,
Say, hey, listen, if you're in Wall Street bets, like you gotta have all.
you know,
It's all or
funny
nothing.
story about that. My wife is completely against stocks, right? And I was in.
She's a smart woman.
She's a smart woman. I was in AMC and GME, and I made a decent amount of money. And she's like, "Okay, well, are you gonna pull out?" I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna pull out. Why would you do that?" She's like, "Well, we know there's some things we could spend it on. We could use it on a new couch." And I'm like, I could use a new PC too. So
go.
my whole setup. Thank you, AMC.
I like it. I like it.
But
That's a good way to look at it.
yeah, it definitely was an interesting ride to say the least, to get in the whole stock market situation and do some research and see where it goes and see what happens and all that stuff. But
Right.
what how did Whizzle World come about? What inspired that, and what made you get into that sort of thing, because I got to tell you, to me and so many others, because I've talked to a lot of people about you in particular, you're kind of legendary, bro. Like, you're kind of a guru. You know what you're talking about, and for you, and as well as Wook from GXO, branding, marketing, it's all one and the same, and you guys are really good at it. So I'm just kind of curious about the background behind Wizz1er and how that came to be.
So I mean, there's not a real quick answer to that question.
Well, you got a little bit of time.
I'll do my best. So 2020, everyone's changing like jobs, blah blah blah. Like that's no surprise. That's no secret, right? I was also in that pool. I decided working from home might be now's the time to try it, right? Like now's the time to try and start my own gig. And I thought you have to do what you love, right? You have to do what you're passionate about to really enjoy it. I decided I want to be a content creator. Why not? I love playing video games. I played video games since I was like 4. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I started down that path. And along that path, along that journey, you know, I discovered that there was a lot more to it, that while I'm good at it, I'm not great at it, and I had a lot to learn. But one of the things that I also realized was I value time. Time is super valuable, and the whole reason I even did it was to be able to work like a banker's hour type schedule so I could be with the family. Like, that was the number one reason that I did it. The issue that I ran into was there was a lot more to it than just like streaming video games, right? What I ended up having to do is figure out like, what is passive income and how does that fit into all this? Because that's what most content creators get by.
Right. It's monetization and passive income and the whole 9 yards.
So I started doing a lot of research on how to, you know, get your eggs in more than one basket in the content creation world. And, you know, I came across merch along the way. I actually came across another platform whose name shall remain nameless at this point that I decided to join. And just because I value time, I didn't want to do it all myself. And I don't print merchandise. Like I'm not a design printer. Like I don't have a printer in the basement. I don't do any of that stuff, right? So I figured, you know, what the heck, let's get some Wizz1er merch out here and we'll get started. So the platform I joined, I was there for a few months and literally almost zero customer service. Like almost zero communication. Yeah, it was very unfortunate. And to the point where after a few months, I made a formal email type complaint, and I wasn't mean, I wasn't obnoxious. I was just like, hey, this is my feedback for you. Take it or leave it. I've run my own business for X amount of months, and at this point, I feel like I could also run yours. So I would love to talk, and I didn't get a response back for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
I got a response, but I didn't get one back for 2 weeks, and it was more of like a defense response, like, hey, we're sorry, but here's why. We're sorry, but here, like kind of explaining it away, so to speak. So at that point, I made the decision that I was going to look elsewhere, and I thought, well, I already know design. I went to school for graphic design. Mm-hmm. I'm an expert in typography, which is like the niche graphic design field that no one ever wanted to do. It's like everyone wants to draw. And
from firsthand experience, you are damn good at it.
Thank you. But so like I decided like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure out a way to do what this platform was doing, but do it better. And I had to answer the question, like, what makes us different? Like, why am I doing this when you have places like Stream Elements and Streamlabs and Teespring and all of these places doing the same thing? That's the competition, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I declared that they weren't the competition, because in order to play into the field that I want to get into, they have to be able to offer a white glove type experience. Tell me any one of them, can you get them on the phone? No,
not at all.
You can't. You can't get them on a call. You might get them in a chat if you're lucky. If you're lucky, you might be able to get them into a text chat. But getting them on the call, like, no, that's impossible.
Not to mention a real person behind a chat or an email or, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, like hired out support is definitely a thing for sure. So that is plausible, or a robot. So I decided, let's go. We're going to do it. We're going to start it up. And last January, I started up and I invited people that I knew from streaming, that I had met in streaming, to start with me. And we started rolling. And that's kind of how it started. Bad experience turned into my own good experience, and hopefully everyone else's.
So here's the thing with that. I want to point this out to everyone listening, or future listeners as I put this on YouTube or whatever platforms. Learn from any mistakes or bad experiences, because you never know where it's going to take you. And and honestly, I see nothing but good things for your future, certainly, in Wizz1er and everything, because you guys are doing such an amazing job.
Thank you, man. We're just getting started.
Exactly. let me ask you this about Wizz1er.
Yeah.
Who was the very first client you had? Do you remember?
That's tough, because I probably messaged about 10 people in one day and probably talked to all of them that same day.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's cool.
It's either gonna be
Poet, thank you so much for that alert. I appreciate the
moderator,
support.
Chunky Knees, or Cage-Matic. Those are the first two names that come to mind. Cage-Matic, really awesome dude, known for the bro phraseology. He's a bro. He's like the most wholesome bro you'll ever meet in your life. And he does amazing Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. It's great.
Get the new chopper, do it now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so good.
That's
So
awesome.
good. But he's an awesome dude. He lives surprisingly about 30 minutes away from me, and I didn't even know that.
You know
until,
what's wild?
Months later.
That's so wild, because I've met a few people who I live near Chicago. I live outside of Chicago. And I've met a few people in the last couple of weeks that live in the area as well. And it's just, when you get into the content creation or streaming world and people you meet and see where they're from, it's mind-blowing.
Right.
Like, holy cow, I'm talking to someone that I've never met who lives 40 minutes away from me, and I'm also talking to someone from across the world. It's nuts.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
It is. It's crazy. And my mom, my IRL mother, is one of my biggest supports in my stream. She never misses one. She shows up in some way, shape, or form to every single one, and
That's awesome.
it's mind blowing to her too, because she's of an older generation to where this is just kind of crazy, the whole streaming thing. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's different.
The
world is totally different, and it's never going back to the way that it was.
So, what are your aspirations with Wizz1er?
So that's a good question. I would say a lot of people ask me why I don't do certain things. So I'll give you an example. Why can I go to Teespring and upload all my stuff myself, but you don't have that? And Stream Elements, same thing. Slob, same thing. Like, all of these different platforms have like certain little things like that. They're not all identical, but like that, right? It's kind of like a la carte experience where you upload whatever the heck you want, and that's it. Hope for the best.
Mhm.
Like, that's all it is. Like,
Mhm.
it's 100% in your hands. There's nothing else. There's no support. Nothing. Like, they take care of the fulfillment, right? They do all of the hard work, because that is a lot of what my off the air time, so to speak, is dedicated to is the customer experience. But not 100% of it. So why don't I have some of those things? And the reason is, I don't want to have 1 million customers. I don't want to have 1 million vendors in my shop.
Really?
I want to have like the 1,000 loyal vendors in the shop.
That's a damn good point to make.
Because 1,000 people who want to be there is a lot better than 1 million people where maybe, if you're lucky, 100 want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is what is differentiating the experience. And I am not in any way, shape, or form in a rush to get there either. I don't do any advertising at this point. Just about 90% of the people who have joined have been on a word of mouth referral or an associate.
You know what's funny about that? Word of mouth referral can work so damn well in every facet of this game, and people don't realize it sometimes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's more powerful.
It's very powerful. I'm thinking of ways I can go to my small community, none of which are involved in the streaming world at all, and say, look guys, this is what I'm doing. This is actually kind of cool. You should come check it out. And trying to get those organic viewers who literally have nothing to do with this industry. And it's working so far. A lot of people are talking about FlyByWithMaverick from where I live.
Right.
and it's super exciting. My wife is getting in on it. She was completely, she wasn't against the idea of streaming, right? But she's not a
Right.
gamer either, so she truly did not understand any of it. You know, why do you game? First of all, that's a whole nother topic that we can have and probably talk for hours, because everyone has so many different opinions on it. But she says,
Right.
why stream? And it's truly turned into something way more than I ever thought it would be. And that's exciting. That's talking to the people across the world, or, you know, getting to know the people and networking the right way. And it was by pure happenstance that I've even came to meet you, and I'm super thankful that that even happened. So, as for all you guys listening, as someone who has worked with Wizz1er firsthand, that experience he's talking about, it's true. I mean, he takes pride in what he does for you. So, Wizz1er, it makes me so angry when people tell me, like, oh, I'm getting my merch shop on, you know, Stream Elements. And all I can think about is that barf emoji. Like, God, get out of here. I got one so much better.
You know, and that's okay. I would rather people do what they think is right,
Mm-hmm.
and get the, you know, get the feedback, get the advice, whatever, but they make a decision. Eventually it might be fine for them, right? They might have a decent experience with them, and I'm not here to knock any of them, but I will tell you that that's not where we're going. We're not going that route. We're going to be more along the lines of an elite, so to speak, group where anyone is welcome, but your experience is going to be tailored based on your needs. And I have a couple of clients right now that I'm actually, via NDA, I'm not allowed to tell anybody who they are, because they value discretion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part of it that, I mean, I think is pretty cool, and it's very humbling, because some of these individuals are larger than life. Like, I could say their names and people are like, really? That's surprising.
That's wild.
And it's taught me a lot of things. It's taught me, you know, prompt communication, elevate the pitch,
Look, what's up,
so
bro?
to speak, even if it's something that they're
Welcome in. Fly by with
paying
Maverick,
for,
season
like
3,
they're
episode
the
1.
ones selling, not me. Like, they're
We're
showing
picking
art,
Wizz1er's
but
brain right now.
that's what I've learned, is how to share it concisely, quickly, and prioritize. Prioritization is key.
That's a tough one for me, because I work in a service industry, IRL. I install and service automated gate systems for residential and
Nice.
commercial applications. So I've worked with those larger than life clients, to where, if
Right.
you know, so I understand completely, where we look at the job ticket and we say this name, but we get there, it's something completely different. Like, they're using an alias on our service tickets even. So
Right,
it's crazy.
right.
Did I s-
Thankfully, in my case, I don't have to share, like, details.
No,
digitally
bro, we were
anywhere.
starting at
What we've
8:30
got set up is
CST
completely
tonight,
off the cuff.
because he can only
So
go until about
I
midnight.
I don't have to deal with the whole alias thing, because I don't want to deal with, like, the whole breakfast at Tiffany's kind of deal. You know?
Gotcha. Well, I mean, let's talk about that catered needs. You mentioned catered needs, and I really want to touch on this, especially for those that are out there who really are looking for ways to take their brand to the next level. Wizz1er offers a large variety of services.
Sure.
Let's touch base on that. What exactly sets you aside from the competition per se? And I'll let you take that in any direction you want.
Me,
Love it.
hands down.
I love it.
Like me, plain and simple. You don't get me when you go sign up for one of the things where you upload your own logo and hope for the best, right? Like, you don't get me. You don't get a consultant's opinion. And I'm gonna give you my opinion. You can choose to take it or leave it, right? Like, I've given people my opinion and they haven't ran with it, and that's okay too. But I make the difference. Like, that is the difference. And you may get that elsewhere. You may get that at some places. That's fine. But that's what I offer that's different. And because I'm a realist, I also realize that, you know, if it is going to be a business that's successful, I have to have some form of income, right? It has to make a bit of money to grow. So in the beginning, I offered, it was pretty much open for free to everybody. And now we have a tiered membership plan with a free plan, We've got a small plan for the price of a sub. For the price of a Twitch sub, you can get access to pretty much the entire catalog and then some, right? And that includes the best embroidery that I have found on basically all of the international print-on-demand markets. Embroidery is a tough thing, and it's hard to do on demand.
I'm even as a client per se. I'm not sure what to call myself for Wizz1er. I'm gonna call myself a client because I use Wizz1er and I'm a huge advocate of it. But I'm learning so damn much about the apparel world and how everything is applied to it.
It's like a little different.
I remember the first time I approached you with a design. I said, "Let's put this on a hat," and you said, "No way, you can't put that on a hat."
Not only would it not look good, I think I know you're talking about your original design.
Yes, my
right?
original logo.
There's no way it would embroider well at all. It just looked like a bunch of spaghetti made out of green ribbon all on the front of a hat. Ugh.
So as much as I was personally tied to that logo, I truly appreciate the transparency, the 100% honesty, because look, you want your people to have good results because that will give you good results in the long run. And you guys, I've not experienced anything else besides that since I started working with Wizz1er. I mean, I'm truly thankful for the honesty he's presented to me. 100%.
Important. Gary V, if you're familiar, if you're not familiar,
love
great
Gary V.
Inspirational speaker,
100%.
business mind. He has this mantra, and I love it. I believe in it. I try to do my best to live by it in the business world, while also being a realist. And is you got to give the best part of you away for free. Your brand, your business, your passions. You give the best part of you away for free. So for me, that's me. That's my ideas. That's my direct communication. That's my tenacity and passion for typography and design and clean work. Like that's what I give away to everybody. It doesn't matter if you sign up for a free store. It doesn't matter if you're on the Pro or the Legend plan. It does not matter. You're gonna get that aspect of me for free.
What. Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly. And I won't sugarcoat things. I really don't like to sugarcoat anything. I'll be upfront. Like,
but why would
I'll
you?
tell you if things don't work.
Why? Yeah. Why would you sugarcoat?
People are afraid of failure.
No. So here's the thing.
People are afraid of rejection.
It's so crazy to think that though, because in this industry especially, full disclosure makes or breaks you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So let's see.
You say that, and the first company that came to mind was Blizzard.
Oh my gosh. So as someone who plays COD, almost exclusively, I do have to agree with you, but it's super important, and that's what I want to drive through all of this also, that it's the service you offer is legit in every single aspect. Like let's just say you didn't tell me, oh, you can't put that on a hat. Well, then I make that a hat, and then guess what? Which is this hat that I'm wearing, by the way. This hat. I'll show you guys. All right. So you see the front of it is just a.
That's the old one.
It's just a reticle, but that was supposed to be a blood splatter. That was supposed to be.
That was supposed to be the whole logo.
Yeah,
like
the whole
with
thing.
Words and everything. Nope.
It would have turned out terrible, and then I would have been representing that as my brand. Like, that's not a good look. You know what I mean? So it immediately, if you let that happen, you're setting me up for failure, and then, well, not you're setting me up for failure. You know what I mean, though? Like, I'm setting myself up for failure by just going with it.
We both are.
Oh,
You're taking the information at face value. You're like, and then I'm not doing anything right when I know there's a better solution.
So the whole thing to take away from that is something you offer that maybe someone or other companies don't, all right, is trust. I came to you with zero knowledge of this stuff. No expectations, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I can't remember how many messages I sent you, and I said, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. And you're like, well, we're going to figure it out. And that's the realistic thing that I want to push for everyone to know about you and what you offer. And that's why I'm glad when I asked you that, you said, I'm the difference. And it's not a condescending, cocky answer. That's the difference maker, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that was my goal. And I'll tell you a little bit more about my bad experience with the other vendor or the other platform. One of the products that I bought from my own store was also a hat. It also happened to be embroidered. And for anybody who's seen my original logo, which is the coin, the Wizz1er coin, it's bright pink and bright blue, and it has black outlines, and it's a gradient. So in the printing world, gradients are your worst enemy. All right? So this is also an embroidery. So there is no way to blend ink.
Right.
It's all stitching. So I ordered a hat. When I got it in, I was so disappointed in how it looked that I was ready to throw it away. And I mean, I kept it. It was the first hat that I had bought. I made it. It was my design, right? But I got no feedback from the person who composed it and put it online because it's a similar process. It wasn't automated. So I did submit information. Then a couple days later, they put it up, which is pretty normal. I shot an email, got the typical explained away, well, on an embroidery, you have to have solid colors. Oh, really? No shit. How about you tell me that ahead of time before putting it on the hat? Because now I'm out $30.
Yeah.
And I want another one, and you're not going to be able to help me out with that either. So that was what got my brain like, I'm done. I'm absolutely done with this company, and I want something else.
Well, good for you.
So
I'm happy.
That's why I'm also an expert in embroidery now.
Well,
which it wasn't at the time.
And this sounds bad, but I'm kind of happy you went through that negative experience, because if you didn't, maybe we wouldn't have Wizz1er, and I'm thankful for everything you guys have done. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man.
So the grind is there for you to want to make a difference and make something better than you experienced.
Yes,
that
was what started the business.
That's amazing. I love that. I love those kinds of stories too. Let's touch again on the different tier levels. I know you mentioned 2 or 3 of them. Let's go all the way to the top and see what Wizz1er has to offer for everyone. And I also want to talk about another feature that Wizz1er offers, is that customs, to give people a shot at, putting pen to paper per se.
So let's start there. That's the World Free tier. So we have World Free, we've got World Plus Pro, and World Legends. So I was only going to do 3 tiers at first. That was the original goal. It was going to be free, small, big. Like basically good, better, best, that kind of tier. Free is access. I want to be able to give everybody access to us if they choose to take it. But I'm not going to force anybody to take it, right? Like I want people to join the community that actually want to join the community. I don't do advertising. I don't want any of that. Like I'd rather have a slow trickle than 100 people come in tomorrow, because I won't be able to help 100 people realistically, efficiently, and effectively like I would help everybody.
Well, that's another thing I want to talk about, but proceed.
Okay. So World Customs is what we offer for the World Free plan. And essentially it is, you already can see the entire catalog, the entire library, and you can even play yourself, like with the imagery. You can pop a photo up there, you can kind of tinker, see how things might look. But what we'll do is any item that's in there, we'll help you compose and design a final piece to open a store. And you can have in your shop as many of them as you want. There's no limit. I don't do any product limits, because I think that's a complete false wall when people have those limits. Those limits basically are put in place to show value to the next tier. So instead, what I do is I just offer more on the next tiers. That's what awesome. I did. So for the price of a sub a month, $4.95 a month, you get that. So everything that's in the customs tool, you can have that, but you can also get pretty much 99% of the rest of the catalog that we offer, which includes brand named items like Champion. We have all embroidery items, which is a big deal. Embroidery is something that's super huge, and the supplier that we use for the customs tool doesn't offer embroidery. So we also have shoes, custom footwear, all over print items. We can even supply for your shop a branded gift card, which are great for giveaways for your communities. If you're a streamer or even a YouTube content creator, being able to offer more on a somewhat consistent basis beyond a t-shirt or, a discount code, while those are all good, having something that's a little bit more diverse was important. So that's why that is part of that as well. And the custom gift card we'll make the artwork look like whatever we want because it's all digital, right? And then you can give that away to your community, and they can go shop in your store whenever they choose to. So that is pretty much the World Plus tier. On the next one up, which is the more popular tier, I think it offers the most value for most people. That's the World Plus Pro, and it includes everything previously mentioned. But we also get into tailoring the design of your shop. We get into tailoring the design of your entire passive income merchandising business.
And I don't want to interrupt, but just to let everyone know what that can look like. And you guys can also watch this episode from my landing page, but I am a Wizz1er World Plus Pro member. So if you guys want to see what that looks like and what Wizz1er's talking about, to kind of put it in front of you to see what that value is, take a look at that. Take a look at my shop, and I'm not saying go buy everything. I'm saying just take a look, because
why don't you just watch the stream from there? How about
that too. It's the things that he does is just amazing. But go ahead, sorry.
So not only this is a test. You're the first person that we're actually testing the live functionality on this, and I'm watching the stream from here right now too. So it's pretty cool. It works. We've got the whole Twitch chat baked in. You can redeem channel points, do emotes, the whole nine. That's just one tiny little thing. I call it tiny because it took 5 minutes to implement it. Didn't take 5 minutes to build it, but it took 5 minutes to turn it on. But like, we can customize the experience here for our vendors, and it's different for each person. There is no black and white, you get this or you don't get that. Like, it is based on the needs and goals of the individual brand or creator, or whomever it might be. So that is important, because that, to me, I don't want Linktree. I don't want like beacons.
Yeah.
People asked for it, but I don't want to do that, because again, that takes me out of the equation.
Well, that, and what you want to do is you want to set us, I'm going to say us because I'm a member.
Sure.
But what sets us aside from everyone else? It certainly isn't a beacons or a Linktree. Now, I would have to say that I do use them on other platforms because there is a use for them. But in this particular situation, you want to set yourself aside, and Wizz1er does an amazing job at accomplishing that.
So there's a few lessons I learned from Apple when I was there, and I was there 11 years. It did a lot of different jobs at Apple. But one of the biggest things that I learned was, if you're not an expert in something, you have two choices: let it go, or find someone who is and bring them on, right? Like, so those are the two aspects. Like, that's how they hired people. That's how they chose what to prioritize when it came to like product and sales initiatives and store design and things like that. So that's a great lesson for anyone to take something out of. Like, if you are not great at something, either find someone who is to help you, right? Like, and be the best. Like, find the best. Don't find somebody who's okay at it. Find the best person you can.
No, because you want,
or don't do it.
Exactly. I mean, why find the okayest person to help you? Because otherwise, just do it yourself at that point.
Right. Exactly. So I keep that in my mind when it comes to anything that we offer, and that goes into the next features that are available on the Pro tier, which are being able to add some, I want to say, customizable sales values and benefits for not only the vendors but also their customers. So being able to create some custom product bundles, we can do coupon codes for people to give away, but also the final piece, which is probably the most valuable, is the last piece of our catalog is available, and that is the handmade items. And this is the elite best of the best quality of any of the print-on-demand suppliers that I have ever dealt with in my I'm going to say 1 year. It's going to be 1 year in January. 1 year experience of print-on-demand.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
But these handmade items are really special, and for anyone who's owned one of them, I know there's quite a few people who own some of them from different vendors. They are something special. And the Game Pink stuff that we did and you promoted in October,
thanks for stopping
was
in.
all from this individual supplier.
That Game Pink apparel was a banger. And you guys, I want you all to know that Wizz1er was working super damn hard in the background for that the breast cancer customs event and everything GXO did. Wizz1er was very much involved with all of that. So I just want to, round of applause to him for that too. I can't even tell you how much this man has done for us. It's just phenomenal. So
pretty cool. I appreciate that.
No, we appreciate you, man. Seriously, because look at what we all did as a community.
It was pretty awesome.
That was a great event, and it was for a great cause. So that was, yes, Fire, you said it right. Wizz1er is the freaking man, 100%.
Oh, what up? What up, Fire? How you doing, buddy?
So after Pro is your next top tier, and that's Legend,
top
right?
Tier. Yep, the World Legends, and this is not for everybody. And I knew that going in, that this was probably going to be the least popular plan initially. And for good reason, right? It really isn't for everybody. This is designed for the individual or group of individuals who have already got their business plan underway. They've already found some success in developing themselves and their business with either active income streams, passive income streams, whatever the case might be. So the biggest difference in this is, I would say, this would be considered like a diamond tier white glove you would get at Tiffany's or something along those lines. We only offer this to those who really need it, and I've already told a couple people who were considering buying that it's not for them, not yet. And the reason I say not yet is because there's some aspects of this that don't make sense for them, right? Like they would get more value out of a World Pro plan, or maybe they're just like thinking ahead, like, hey, I always buy the best product I can buy, like the top model Xbox when it comes out. So they just look at it life that way, and that's not how it was designed. This is designed, if you want priority support and that's all you want, sure, you can pay for it, but that's not really
that goes back to the whole honesty and transparency that you offer, though.
Sure.
I mean, Legend is the top tier, so that's gonna be the most money per se coming to Wizz1er World, and you're telling people no because it's not ready. It's not right for them yet. So
the key word there is yet.
Exactly.
And here's one of the reasons why. So one of the big aspects of the Legends tier is the affiliate program. And the affiliate program does not make you a member of the Wizz1er World affiliate program. No. We help you custom tailor one for you and your community. We are the pioneers in this particular service. No one, I launched this almost 6 months ago. I have not met another company that offers to create an affiliate program for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple people. So that's I call it the bread and butter of this particular tier, is being able to help grow your base even more with an affiliate program. And an affiliate program isn't right for every business. It's not right for every content creator. It's not right for a lot of different people, but it is right for some. It is absolutely right for some. And I think that when built the right way, where it's not like a commissioned based sales team, always, you're only as good as your last month kind of deal, then it can really help add a lot of value to companies and individuals who want to grow their communities even further.
It's absolutely phenomenal everything that you guys are doing. You said that you couldn't service, let's say, 100 people who came in tomorrow. What are Wizz1er World's plans, or what are your plans for potential growth in the future, and how are you planning to accomplish that service for many more people should you get to that point?
That's a great question. I'm going to say that I can only answer some of it. For those who've been around for a while with me, they might realize that, I might be quiet for a month or two, just do like the normal regular communications. You might not hear much from me in the way of features, and then boom, here comes one new thing. The next day, something else is getting released.
I can vouch for that.
That's how I operate, but I try to keep it all under wraps until it's ready to roll. I will say that there are some cool things coming. Like that's what I will say. And as it relates to scalability, one of the things that I really believe is super important is understanding where you are now and understanding where you want to be and what is it going to take to get in, there in between. It's not always a step ladder. It's you can't go linear either. So you have to figure out like how malleable are you? How willing to lose are you? Because if you're willing to lose something, you probably will gain in the long run.
Well, I want to also say that with anyone, not just Wizz1er, with anyone, especially in the streaming world, okay, that climb to the top, it's not always going to be moving upward. Okay, you're going to have those valleys.
It's not,
and you're going to go back up. And as long as you learn from each of those downfalls, it's going to help you reach the top faster and stronger. And
agreed.
That's an amazing point of view to have about it. It really is.
It's important, and not everybody has reached that in their careers or their their professional life just yet. You have to fall down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's important to understand that when it comes to growth, so a lot of people have asked me a similar question to what you just asked, and my response is always going to be something to the effect of, I'll know things are working well for me when I feel like I can't do all of my tasks in a day, in a couple of days, where I'll hire somebody. That's the right time to hire somebody. Am I going to hire another employee? No. But when we need to, I will consider it, and then we'll start, crossing that bridge.
But
again,
it's a good problem to have too.
Oh, it is.
Potential employment of others. Well, it's something to look forward to, though. And potential employment of others is a super good problem to have. Wook says he cannot wait to Big Spoon Wizz1er when we meet eventually.
Wook,
he's an aggressive Big Spoon.
He might crush me when he finds out how tall I am.
Oh,
he could probably snap me like a twig with one hand.
Now I got to ask
you. He's a big boy.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
You're shorter than I am.
Yeah, I'm short.
Oh my goodness. Cletus, we are actually doing Flyby with Maverick. It's an interview style collaboration. Tonight's guest is Wizz1er, the founder and creator of Wizz1er. And we're not going to be playing Warzone tonight. Usually we would for flybys tonight. I'm going to get my feet wet in a little bit of Rocket League for the first time when we move over there.
So funny. Oh man.
So I want to touch on something going back to the free tier of what Wizz1er has to offer, and I want to make this known to everyone. Look, yes, you heard me, Rocket League. Don't at me. The thing about the free tier, okay, I want everyone to know that that's what I started on, okay? Even when when Wizz1er transitioned into the tiers or providing the tiers for everyone, I stayed at the free. And that's okay until you figure out what it is you expect or want to do with your brand. The free tier is a perfect way to test the waters to see what you want to accomplish later on. And as Wizz1er said, they offer a lot of things at that free tier. So I can't tell you guys enough how much I recommend checking it out, getting in on the website, getting into Wizz1er's community. Let's just put aside Wizz1er for now. The community that you've created and the people you surround yourself with are truly amazing people, and I'm super thankful for having been able to meet all of them too. Some of them are in chat right now, so thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate it. I gotta catch up on what Wook's saying here. We're going to be besties.
He's 6'5" and I'm 5'5", so that he said that's the
holy
ultimate
cow.
Dude, you could have like 2 spoons there.
That's perfect. Well, what do you say? What do you say we get into some Rocket League, man?
I'll follow your lead, bro.
Alrighty, guys, we're gonna transfer over to Rocket League, so stick around and we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. First time playing.
I hope he has a lot.